Welcome to Coaching for Creatives with Kirsten. My name is Kirsten Call. I'm a therapist-trained life coach and a children's book author. Together, we'll get the drama out of our lives and onto the page. Let's get started. You are listening to episode 35, Inspiration from a Microburst. Last Friday, I was driving home when the sky suddenly darkened. Lightning streaked and sheets of rain ravaged the windshield. Visibility was so bad, I pulled over. That's when quarter-sized hail started pummeling the car, and then 70-mile-per-hour winds whipped through the trees, ripping them apart. Trunks were breaking. It was crazy. After about 15 minutes of Armageddon, the rain slowed. I pulled back on the road. The roads were chaos. Streetlights were out, and although I was within 5 minutes of my house, I spent an hour attempting to find a way home. Power lines and trees blocked the roads, and when I finally did get home, the house was dark. We didn't have power for 3 days. I later learned this storm was a microburst. So much devastation in just 15 minutes of heavy storm. Here's some things I learned from this experience. Number 1, the importance of light. When the sky darkens at 3 p.m. and it's as if it's midnight, it's a surprise. When my entire town lost power, we noticed, and not having power at home helped me remember how quickly things can change. All of a sudden, I couldn't take light for granted anymore. I took cold showers without light. I found my clothes in the dark. We all went to bed much earlier because, no light. And when the power came back, turning on a light became thrilling. I see so much more clearly with light. In our creative lives, sometimes we shed light on others' projects, helping them shine more brightly. And there's a reason an idea is represented by a light bulb. Ideas are moments of enlightenment waiting to become our creative work. Number 2, grit matters. Perseverance is key in life and creativity. I wasn't going to give up on getting home, even though it was crazy. I just kept trying new routes until one worked. When my road was blocked with trees and power lines, I didn't give up. I turned around, tried another way, and eventually got where I was going. Success really does live in the neighborhood of failure. If we persist and keep trying, just like the toddler who is learning to walk, eventually, almost every child learns to walk. Eventually, we will achieve our goals. Eventually, happy book news happens. It's inevitable. The 7 years between my first and second books is a testament to that. Number 3, surprise storms happen. In life and publishing, we are surprised by stormy skies, hail pummeling us, thunderous news, or cracks of dangerous lightning. I did not expect hail in early September. Every time one of my editors leaves their publishing house, I'm surprised. I know I should expect it by now. Hard things happen every day to everyone. So perhaps expect the unexpected. Expect the hard things. Know you are stronger than your struggles. Know you can work through the storms. Eventually, the wind stops blowing. And almost always after a surprise storm, there's the calm, and perhaps even a rainbow. Number 4, there's power and no power. Not having power helped me appreciate power, and also how much I use my phone, my computer, and other devices requiring charging. I played card games with my youngest, realizing I hadn't played this type of game with him for a while, perhaps because we were too busy with technological pursuits. So the power was out, and I had a book event in our town at our local bookstore on the day after the storm. I thought it might be canceled because the entire town was without power. But our bookseller thought it would be a great day for people to show up, mainly because there was no power. 2 little girls came. Their car was crushed by a tree, so they had to walk to the bookstore with their mom to make it to my Smarty Ants event. The venue was hot and darkish, and the girls were delightful. Later, the bookstore manager called to apologize. I should have canceled it. I want a do-over where we'll get more people. So we've scheduled another event. But it was actually really special to do a story time with just those 2 little girls who were willing to walk to the bookstore, sit in a hot area, and read Smarty Ants with me. Number 5, there are many types of trees and people. I've been driving around town for almost a week since the storm hit. Trees sliced through roofs like butter. Some trees broke in the middle. Some came up by their roots. Some fell over with the weight of their leaves. Some of them were enormous, 4 feet in diameter or more. Some were tiny. Some lost just branches. And I've been wondering, what makes a tree fall? Is it the root system? Is it weak? Is it the trunk? How much wind resistance knocks a tree over? How much flexibility does a tree need to stay upright in 70-mile-per-hour winds? Like trees, different people react to the same circumstances in different ways. As we weather our storms and disappointments, flexibility really is key. Perhaps life isn't what we thought it would be right now, and perhaps the tough things will lead to something even more beautiful. Just like the time I had the privilege to really focus on 2 little girls at my book event. Number 6, support is key. We have a tree hanging in the balance over our zipline, and many other fallen trees in our backyard. My husband and 13-year-old son spent a while collecting branches, and a neighbor came over with his chainsaw to help break up some of the damage. When we needed help, he was willing to support. We didn't have to collect the branches on our own. This is the reason we have critique groups and writing buddies. When we get rejections or bad news, they can commiserate and buoy us up. And last of all, number 7, the power of perspective. I'm flummoxed at how much damage a storm can deliver in such a short amount of time. The damage was devastating and also an opportunity. People helped each other by offering use of generators, outlets, and freezers. We can choose to focus on the damage, or we can choose to focus on the support. In our creative lives, we can focus on failure, or we can focus on the journey, our efforts, or the connections we're making with other creators. Regardless, without the storm, the support wouldn't happen. The opportunity a storm brings is a beautiful lesson in contrast, isn't it? So, as you weather the storms of your life and your creative endeavors, remember, you are stronger than your storms. Until next time, keep smiling. If you like what you've heard, check out my Get Yourself Unstuck program. Go to KirstenCall.com. That's KirstineCall.com and schedule a free consultation today. Coaching for Creatives is produced by Kirsten Call. Music and audio engineering by James Call.